Before I continue on and discuss course evaluation, grading, and some of my specific course policies, I want to take a moment to discuss with you all the nature of writing and research. First things first, if you're apprehensive, if you feel like you're a terrible writer, that you have some deficits in your writing competencies, do not worry. One of the impetus for this course is to bridge the gap between your undergraduate experience and the standards of graduate writing. You all come from different majors. The MASM program does not require a specific major to be enrolled, so there are a lot of implications that go along with that. For instance, some of you have experience with the MLA style guide with citing your sources and writing content. Some of you may be more familiar with the Chicago style. This course will teach you everything you need to know to operate and conduct research at the graduate level for sports sciences, social and behavioral science based disciplines. We will cover everything you need to know. Again, it's not lost on me that students come to the course and they feel overwhelmed because they have not had adequate one-on-one faculty to student attention. And that also is true with regards to feedback with your writing. If I'm being completely transparent with you, it's a failure of our K-12 system, and it trickles into undergraduate majors and years for the first 1 to 3 years, really, and sometimes even beyond that. And the goal is to, like I said, bridge that gap to help you develop confidence so that you're not worried about that, and to give you all the information, to teach you all the techniques, to provide all of the information you need to know to develop the competencies to do what you need to do at this level. So another note about research in itself, there's oftentimes a misconception about research from those coming from undergraduate tenures. Research is oftentimes thought of as a regurgitation of sources, of information, and of data. And while that's a small portion of what's involved in research, it's a whole other world at the graduate level. Your research is driven by a thesis or an argument that you're making, and then you are the owner. You have complete autonomy of that thesis statement, and you are orchestrating all of the sources and all of the data that exists in support of your thesis or the argument you're making. So the outcome of this course is a literature review, which should be a complete summary, a complete pulse check of all the data, all the research to date, all the applicable ideas and arguments, and all of the refutations of certain ideas, and summarizing that, but also having it driven by an argument you're making so that you're achieving a purpose. So there's a collective knowledge being gained as a product of your work. We are conducting literary research in this course, which means there are no human participants. There are no other methodologies being conducted here. This is just literary research, looking at research that's been conducted, research that's been published. You'll notice if you look at the course rotation for MASM that there is a sport research course, and you can consider that to be your methodology course. That's going to teach you how to conduct a scientific experiment from start to finish. You'll also notice that at the graduate and professional levels, that any published studies, any credible studies that are experimental always include a literary component, a literature review that precedes any actual study being conducted. And so consider this course to be focused on that literary concept of research, and then you will eventually take sport research in the MASM program that will teach you how to conduct methodology, research design, etc. Now, with those notes made, we will discuss more of that in the first actual course module, so don't worry if all of that sounds foreign to you right now. I will give you a complete refresher to help you. Let's go ahead and segue down to technology requirements. This stuff here is pretty cut and dry. I do recommend highly that you have a laptop device or a computer, some device with an actual full set of keyboards. We will embark into the wonderful world of hotkeys and short keys when we get into word processing software to help format your documents to make them APA compliant. And so having those keys and all of the key ribbons on your keyboard becomes instrumental in being able to do that effectively. A tablet will work for reviewing the media. An iPad, anything like that's okay for reviewing whatever works for your learning style. So for reviewing any module content, lecture videos, etc. But when it comes to actually drafting the documents, which will be the bread and butter of this course, and it will be the translation of your ideas when it gets to the point of conducting research itself, it's much easier just to do this on a computer. Um, with that said, you do need access to reliable internet connection. This goes without saying in most places. I just got back from Southern Alabama where internet is non-existent, so I can't generally speak to that for everyone, but you do need some type of high-speed internet connection, especially when we start working through our consultation sessions and one-on-one sessions with me and your peers. Um, we will use Microsoft Word as our primary Word software. And so one distinguishing note to make is that we will not use 365 online. You need to have the fully licensed Microsoft Word, which you get for free by virtue of being a Wingate University student. I've linked that here. It's okay if you've already shared some 365 documents for your diagnostic assignment. That's fine, no worries there. Just moving forward, we will be working only with file types that you use through the full version of the application of Word itself. The next module, I'll walk you through where to find that for free as a Wingate student, how to download it, and what it should look like. Just know for now that your word processing software, Microsoft Word, should not exist in the body of your web browser like Safari, Chrome, etc. It's going to be its own entity outside of your browser. You will also eventually need PDF. Adobe, most computers already have this as a default setting for this file type, so you should be okay. Canvas you're on now, but if you have any issues or questions about Canvas itself, there are some support guides there to help you. If you have any issues with technology itself, downloading any of these items here, or if you run into any issues with Canvas, of course you can reach out to me and I can help. But we do have the Bulldog Central in our Office of Information Technology here, who we refer to it as our help desk internally. I think across campus it's known as help desk, but if you ever have any issue, you can go here, check out their information. You can contact them if you have any issue. Bulldog Central is linked here, and this is a ticket submission resource. So after you log in as a Wingate student, you can submit a ticket, and the ticket will go straight to IT. You can do this actually for any office on campus. SANS Academic Advising as your academic advisor is Dr. Christy DeWall in the MASM program, but financial aid, IT tech, registrar, etc. You can submit any kind of ticket for anything you need. If you do run into any technological issues or snafus, know this form is here. They get back to you typically within 1 to 2 business or working days. So that's a resource if you have any issues. Class decorum and etiquette is the next item on the agenda. I'm not, again, going to demean anyone's intelligence. If you're enrolled in this course, you are an adult. You've been through an undergraduate tenure of some sort. My one thing that I'm a stickler for is to remain professional in all interactions, not only in person, but because this class is primarily online, all of your language, all of your words matter. We refer to netiquette as the rules that apply when using computer mediated communication. That is communication that's filtered through some type of computer based device, whether it be email, smartphone, tablet, laptop, of course, with special emphasis via the internet. And this is important because every single word that you choose to employ in an email, in a chat box, over Zoom, matters a great deal. So always make sure that you're remaining professional in all of the ideas that you're expressing, not only academically, but also when we talk about, internal communication, intra-professional communication. You're at the graduate and professional level now, so make sure that you're referring to all staff and all professors by their appropriate titles. If they're a doctor, call them a doctor. If they're a mister, call them a mister. Do not refer to your professors by first name unless you're invited to do so. Make sure, and this is a big one for me, all emails that you send to me must have a subject line. It must have a salutation. So, in other words, dear, um, some type of opening statement, a body paragraph, and a closing, such as all the best, sincerely. Something similar to that. It must adhere to that structure. Any emails that do not follow that structure, I delete outright. So that's my big thing. If you never get a response from me and you send an email that has "hey" and a blank subject line or something similar, that would be the reason your email is deleted. That's all I'm going to say about netiquette and class decorum. You have to make sure that you are working professionally with your peers as well as myself. Any issues that arise for whatever reason will be directed to the program director, Dr. Christy DeWall, as well as the dean of the School of Sports Sciences. And if there are any issues, not saying that there have been in the past, if any issues arise, honor code violations will be submitted appropriately. I have a diversity statement next in the line here, and as the syllabus states, it's my intent that students from all diverse backgrounds and perspectives be well served by the course. The nature of research at this level and constantly moving the needle and collective knowledge gain includes an inclusive ideology. We must operate by being completely open to ideas that are different from our own, but also ideas that we disagree with, the opposition, the refutations of maybe the theses we have. All of that's rooted in our own gender, socioeconomic status, ethnicity, race, culture, and subjective experience. The goal is to step out of our subjective experience when we employ research and step into a position of objectivity. That experience is always going to be a part of us and it drives all of the ideas, our own, those that are different from our own. However, when we look at research, one of the first tenets of research is being able to acknowledge that and to be inclusive to all ideas, but to step into an objective position to completely, in a neutral manner, evaluate all the research that exists regarding a topic. Some class policies. This is more of the administrative stuff with the class. Attendance, of course, this is an online class, but attendance is gauged by completing all elements of a module. I've mentioned this before in the Canvas orientation video, but if you miss one assignment out of a module, the entire module is deemed incorrect. So, excuse me, incomplete. So it's completely possible to have an entire module deemed incomplete if you miss one assignment. Make sure that you are completing everything, practicing efficient time management, taking note of due dates. Another note regarding the assignments, everything in the course is scaffolded. All assignments build on the next. Even the major course assignments, one builds on the next to help you prepare. Everything is a work in progress as we go through. The nature of improving your writing, developing research and writing competencies at this level is that you're constantly engaging in practice. The assignments are all designed to constantly provide that practice for you. There will never be a point in time where one module will be completely different and topical from another. So make sure that although attendance is not mandatory, that you're making sure you complete all elements of a module. That is, in essence, the attendance in this course. Of course, as you would expect, attendance is absolutely required for any consultation sessions. In fact, when you miss a consultation session, when those are offered, the entire rest of the course is forfeited. I'll provide more information when we get to that time. I'm sure this next section is of the most importance to you all. It's the course evaluation and your grading. I'm encroaching on the 15-minute parameter I have to record this video, so I'm going to go into this and the tentative schedule and a few other class policies in the final and next video.